Well, hey everyone, are you sick of me or are you sick of me? This is the third time for today going live, almost a back-to-back type of thing. But anyway, hello everyone and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. All right, just got off of a really good live for those that were doing the HESI, I think it's HACI, nursing prep. I found this prep and I was like, you know what? Let me just go on and see what happens. All right, well, we got over like 1,700 people in that live. What? Insanity. But here we are. So what we are doing now, this is our free live. Come on in. Let's break down some of the basic concepts. So the concept that we're going to take on right now is combining like terms. So also some distributive property is going to get thrown into as well. But we need to identify and know our like terms in order for you to, 1, solve equations, 2, simplify expressions, and 3, be able to get the result that you are looking for so you can pass that test. So if you are currently enrolled in the GED program, ASVAB, maybe even college algebra, TEAS tests, IBEW, if you need help with the algebra and any of those standardized testing, and math is just not your thing, or you always wanted to be somewhat okay with math, no more breaking out in hives and all that stuff, well then this is the live for you. So as I said, what we're going to be doing today is breaking down or simplifying by combining like terms, identifying what a like term is and what to do with it after you do the distributive property. Okay, so today shouldn't be too long of a live, probably going to take around like 45 minutes of your life, but it'll be something that's going to be needed as you progress. So as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap away. Okay, I'm in the 10th doing college algebra. Well, welcome in, Nicole. Appreciate this. Okay, hello to you. All right. So, Sprick, yes. Jay, patriotic. Okay, I like that you do this. I appreciate that. Thank you. Because there are times I wonder, what is my crazy behind doing this? I got so many other things I could be doing. But, I like to vacuum at 2 o'clock in the morning. Keeps the neighbors on their feet. So, as you guys come in, go ahead and tap away. There's 521 of us. So, we should be at that 1K so I can get started. So, if any by chance, if you want to, hey, if you want to support a tutor and help me with one cash app, my birthday is next week. I would like to be like a little girly girl on my birthday. So, need a little help because, gotta get all that. So, at the while, if you want to do that, you can do that. If you don't want to stay, I'm going to leave this up here for a sec. But if you want to stay, but you know what? Football is really drawing you in and it's important. Hey, you can also catch the replays. So I only do the replays and post them here, okay, for my free events, okay? All of my deep dives, that's only for people that actually signed up for the deep dives. So if you want, you could go here, you can go here, and then do me a favor, hit all 5 of these. You can see there's going to be a playlist that says TikTok Lives. And all of the lives since February the 2nd will be there. So if there's something that you want to know, like, hey, Audrey, can you really help me with adding polynomials? It's there. Hey, Audrey, can you help me simplify radicals? It's there. Hey, Audrey, can you help me add and subtract fractions? It's there. So if you want to think about it, anything that with Algebra 1, maybe a little premise of some Algebra 2, especially with the Pythagorean theorem, also a little bit of the trig ratios, it's there. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is a great place to be. So let's take a look. So our first example, and I'm going to zoom in a second. Give me a moment. Zoop. because the other stuff will be a little bit too wild. So we have x minus 2 plus 1 plus 4x. Okay, I know there's going to be some people here is like, oh, this is really basic. I'm like, but that's the reason, okay? If you're new to my platform, I like to take math and basically represent it to people that always struggled with math. Okay, you're no longer that little kid in the classroom that you were afraid to ask questions because everybody wanted to leave math early so they can go to recess. Don't worry about that little kid anymore, okay? So right now, we're going to face our problem, and we're going to take it step by step. So, okay, would I do? Yes, I do. I do tutoring for ASVAB. Just go ahead and hit that Service Plus button at the bottom of your screen, and then just send me a message, and it's going to go directly to my email, and then we can take it right from there, okay? All right. So, taking a look, how do I know what like terms are? When you're adding and subtracting, you're basically playing what's called the matching game. So in my case, I have an x and I have 4x. Both of them have an x in common. So these are considered like terms. Okay? Because they both have an x with the same exponent involved. Another set of like terms is going to be this -2 and this +1. Okay? The reason why, they're both constant. Okay? So we don't have to worry about anything. So now we're going to use the operation that's given to us. So in front of this x, if you don't see anything, it's assumed to be a 1. So we have 1x plus 4x. That gives us 5x. So now we're going to take care of what's in red. My -2 plus 1. So you owe me $2. You gave me $1. That means you still owe me $1. So now this 5x and this -1, they're not like terms because the 5 has an x, the 1 doesn't. So this is your answer. Okay, that is completely simplified. The like terms are combined. That's where you stay. Okay. Nice job, Kelsey. Good. I hate Pogs. How are you? Okay, nice job. Okay. Yep, I'm on every day. Sometimes I pop in, but majority of my schedule is, if you look at my platform, I actually have it listed there. Okay. All right, good. Erlen, good. What is your question? Go ahead and ask it. Yep, this is a safe space to ask questions. Now, if it's a little raunchy, you can ask it, but I'm not necessarily going to answer it. You know, we got that whole thing called limits. So here's our next example. 9 minus 5p plus 2 plus 2p. Well, you only get distribution, deuces wild, when there's parentheses. So when there's no equal sign, that means you're not solving for the variable. Right now, we're just basically getting it down to where what was I about to say? We're getting it down so to its lowest terms, so completely simplified. Okay, how do you know when to change the signs? For example, if I had a negative and then a regular, then a minus a regular number. Yes, so when you are thinking of it that way, you can think of it as a negative times a negative. So that will give you a positive. Okay? How do you know when to either add or plus or minus in the end? Well, it's going to be based on what you're coming up after you combine your like terms. Okay? So what grade is this? This is basically all terms of math. Okay? Now, taking a look. So we notice, hold on, I'm starting to lose daylight here. There we go. Let there be light. Okay. All right, so let's find our like terms. So one set, we have a positive 9, because the signage is always on the left of our numbers. And we have a plus 2. So those are like terms. Then we have our negative 5p and our plus 2p. Those are like terms because they have the same p with the same exponents. So they are going to be like terms. I like to start with the one with the variables first. It's perfectly fine. So if we do negative 5p plus 2p. So if you owe me $5 and you paid me $2, that means you owe me $3. And I'm just bringing the p with it. So these are taken care of. So now we have 9 plus 2. 9 plus 2, that gives me 11. So if you said negative 3p plus 11, or you can say 11 minus 3p. As long as the 3 is negative, which it is here, and the 11 is positive, you can go either way, okay? So it's going to give you the same result. So it's the commutative property of addition, okay? All right, Shannon. Yes, I do know Mr. M. Is that your question? No, that's right. All right. Okay. All right, so let's step it up just a hair. So for that person that was asking about the negative minus a negative, here comes your example. Because sometimes if we take this to the next step and we try to solve, okay, the solving bit you understand. The part that gets a lot of you guys is when to do the sign change when you're multiplying by a negative or you're multiplying a negative times a positive, just knowing your rules of integers. Also, combining your like terms. You guys tend to combine everything all together regardless if it has a variable yes or no. There are limits. Okay? There are limits. Okay. There you go, Jeremy. Good. But wait, where's the positive 9 coming from? Okay. E-bricks, what happened to my x? Okay, so Tone is saying my 6x plus 7. Okay, I hate pods saying 6 plus 6x plus 1. You can combine the 7 and the 1, or the 6 and the 1. Okay, 6x plus 7, 7 plus 6x, 6x plus 7. There you go for Isaac T. Parker, 6x plus 7. Nino, I see you. Okay, bing bong, I see you. All right, okay. All right, okay. We need more hard. Want to try that again? just try it again. Okay. All right. So, when we have to do, we are distributing. So that first thing that we're going to distribute is a -2 to everything inside of the parenthesis. So a negative times a negative gives me a +6. A -2 times a -3. So that minus sign is a negative, and it also acts as a negative to the 3, a signage to this 3x. So this gives us a +6x. Then we bring down the +1. So now we need to combine our like terms. Our like terms is this 6 here and that 1. Both of them are positive. This one you can see with the +1, but this is the part that gets a lot of you guys. The reason why this 6 is positive is not because of this plus sign. That plus sign is attached to the 6x. I know that this is positive because over to the left of it, I don't see a minus sign. So there's no signage there, so that means this is going to be positive. So I'm adding the 6 plus the 1, which gives me the 7. So if you want, you could write your answer as 6x plus 7, or you can say 7 plus 6x. Okay, so you do have a choice. Okay. Because that's how I write my 6s. Why do you write your 6s like that? Because that's just how I write them. Okay, why do you say you're at an F? Relax. Okay. PEMDAS, if you look, the first part of PEMDAS is parentheses. If you look inside the parentheses, this has an X. This one has a -3. They're not the same. So you can't combine anything. So your next part is exponents. I don't have any superscripts. No exponents up here, so that's done. Then with multiplying from left to right. Multiplying comes first, so that's your distribution. Okay? Then you take a look. All right, I got my adding or subtracting. I can't add the 6 with the 6x because they're not like terms. So that's why I have to do the 6 plus 1. So you are doing PEMDAS. You are doing PEMDAS throughout this. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so it's okay. Okay, FOIL is only when you're multiplying, my darling. Don't get them confused. This is not foiling. This is just distribution. Foiling is when you have either 2 binomials or a binomial and a trinomial. That's when you're going into groups. There's no plus or minus in between the parentheses. All right, so if you feel that, hey, this is great, but I feel like I need a little more work, yes, I do offer private tutoring. Yes, I do have courses. So if you're trying to get your GED, your ASVAB, the Accuplacer, if you're taking your T's or the HEs or HCs, go for the foundation of algebra, and I take you all the way from algebra, basic numbers, what type of numbers we are, all the way to rational functions. So a little bit of algebra too. You also have geometry. You also have data analysis and statistics. So if that's something that you think, hey, I really need, I can only try to supply what I think you need. Okay. So if that's the case, you can go here. And this is here. Okay. If you want this, all you have to do is just go here. Okay, and you will find this. All right, and once you scroll down, you'll see the courses. And right now the courses are $147. The price of that is going to go up October 1st, and that's going to be at $197. So I don't know about you. Saving a couple $50, you can do something with that. Okay? All right. Awesome. Mr. Nice Guy, E means exponents. E means exponents. Okay. All right, let me do a common one that a lot of people tend to really mess up on. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, no problem. Okay, Bing Bong is saying 6x plus 1. Bing Bong. Couldn't resist. Just like my Jenny's. Jenny! Yeah, it has my 6x plus 1. Okay, Mr. L has 1 plus 6x. Okay, Ebrix had 1 plus 6x. Thanks so much for the follow, guys. Thank you so much for the tapping. If you're in between stuff you want to keep tapping, we can keep it tapping. Okay. Yep, I'm not doing scientific notation, but again, as I said, if you go here, I did it earlier. Not today, but you know, if you go here and type in here, and then look for the TikTok lives, type in scientific notation, bada boom, bada bing, you're probably going to see a couple videos already there. Okay? All right, you got options. And while you're there, do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for me. Trust me, I'm not bilingual. Don't go crazy. It was just a moment. It was just a moment. So the negative outside the parentheses, yes, it is a -1. How do you find the solution for a parabola? That's when you got to do factoring. All right. So, as we're here, we're doing our negative. When you are distributing, wrong color. When you're distributing the negative, all you're doing is just changing the signs of everything inside your parenthesis. That's all you're doing. So instead of a -1, now it's a +1. Instead of a -6x, it's a +6x. But the thing is, we do great with the first term, but then we just forget what we're doing when it gets to the second term. That's why a lot of teachers have you guys draw the arrows, the little rainbows. Reason why, to remind you that, hey, you're distributing this negative not only just to the -1, but also to that -6x. Okay? So this is our answer. All right, so let me step up my game a little bit more before we get into fraction town. You're like, what? Fractions? Like, yep. Yippery. Because they're numbers too. All right, so if we have... Okay. Give this one a try. Let's see what you can do. Okay, let's see what you can do. Yes, I do. Oh, hello, Angela. Right now we're working on combining like terms and we're adding the distributive property. Okay, just to really get to the knowing of that. And yes, I do save my lives. Okay, mentioned this before. Sorry, blocking that. So if you go here and you type in this, okay, you'll be able to see a playlist that says TikTok Lives. Okay, all of my lives since February the 2nd, when I started taking this seriously, are on there. Okay, you'll even see the progression of my lives. My lives used to be like, yes, and here you go. Never knew that all this fabulousness was inside. You gotta do things with practice, right? So here we go. All right, so let's take a look and see what people have put in place. Okay, so I'm saying negative 6y. I say Bing Bong is saying 6y minus 1. I'm saying negative 6y, negative 6y. Okay, is it negative 6y? Ooh. Is it Jayla? Hold on. All of a sudden just went a little crazy for a second. All right. Jayla's saying 9 plus 6y. Zaza saying 3 plus 6y minus 3 minus 12y. Okay, now combine your like terms. Sharon saying 3 plus 6y. Mr. Nice Guy saying 11y. Does y need to be filled with a number? No, because I'm not giving you anything, any additional information to what's called evaluate. We're not evaluating. We're basically trying to combine our like terms. Okay, so if I said y equals blank, that's when you're filling in for the y's. Okay, so right now I should see some raw y's. Lovely saying 0 plus 10y. Free is saying 18y. Okay, I got negative 6y's. Okay, so I got 18y's, negative 6y's, 11y, negative 6y. Amy is saying 10y. Negative 6y's, 18y's, negative 6y's, negative 9 plus 6y, 6y. All right, let's go through it. There is some consistency. Okay, used to be so good. That's what you are. You are. So now, let's take a look. So, very first thing, I'm looking inside the parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, we do not have like terms. So we can't combine anything. We don't have any exponents, so we don't have to worry about that. So the next thing we should be thinking of is our multiplication. So we're going to distribute this 3 to its parenthesis, not the whole thing. Okay, just to the beginning and the end of that parenthesis. For this one, we're going to take this negative 3 and we're going to distribute it to everything inside the parenthesis. Okay, so we got 2 different sets of distributive property. So if you're new to my channel, this is what I like to do. I like to take one thing at a time so we don't have too much distractions. So let me bring this down a little bit. So now let's do the distributive property for that first parenthesis. So we have 3 times 1. Not to insult your intelligence, 3 times 1 we got is 3. Now, we're going to not just bring down 2y, we got to distribute that 3 to the 2y. So it's almost like, hey, you got a party invite and you have 2 friends. You don't want to just give an invite to the one friend right in front of the other friend. Ballsy on your part, okay? You want to make sure you give the invite to this friend and to this friend. If not, that's how rumors get started. Next thing you know, there's a fight. And then when they're talked to the principal's office, this is what happened. And the principal's looking at you like you guys got 2 heads, tell you guys to make up. And next thing you know, you're somewhat friends and you're at each other's weddings. Bada boom, life. Okay? So, after we do that, we take a look. We can't combine those 2. That 6y has a y. That 3 doesn't. They're not like terms. So now I'm coming over to the other side. So this time I'm distributing the negative 3. So negative 3 times 1, not to insult your intelligence, that's going to be a negative 3. Now, here we go. Got to give the invite to your other friend. Okay, negative 3 times 4y, that gives you a negative 12y. Okay, all right. So now, that's taken care of. So now we're focusing our attention right here. So we're trying to get our like terms together. What are my like terms? You have a positive 3 and you have a negative 3. Then the other like term that we have a positive 6y and a negative 12y. So let's get this over and done with. So you have $3. You spent $3. You broke. Let it go. Don't go to the ATM acting like, oh, let me take some money out. You know there ain't nothing in there. Get away from the machine. Hoping and praying. Okay? So now we have our negative 6, or our positive 6, sorry. We have our 6y, and now we have our minus 12y. So you owe me $12. You paid me $6. Now you owe me $6. So your answer should be a negative 6y. I know, right? Okay, well, thank you, Dawn. Appreciate that you're here. Okay. All right. Okay, Angela, what's throwing you? Oh, thank you, Kay. Appreciate it. What's throwing you, Angela? Yep, I'm definitely going to be doing another one. Yep, I will be. Thank you for the please. I appreciate the underestimated. Okay. Good luck, Charm. Okay, so you guys are saying. Oh, so the 6y and the minus 12? Okay. So if you owe me $12, that means I'm in the negative. And you pay me $6. This 6 is positive. Both of these y's are the same. Okay? So you can combine those two because they both have a y with the same exponent. If you don't see it, it's a 1. So all you have to do is if you owe me $12, you pay me $6, that means you owe me, that's why it's negative, 6y. You can sit there and keep saying it's negative 18. Good. You're going to be taking this test forever and ever. Okay? All right. Okay. All right, so let's take a gander. All right. So if we can get our likes up to at least 12, oh, we should be able to get 15. There's over 700 people in here. Okay, let's see if we can type it up to like 15. Then I'll get us started with the next one. I'm going to take a look and see if there are any questions. Why is it not negative 18? How can you get negative 18 out of 6 and negative 12? If that 6 is positive, not negative. This is a plus 6. Because positive 3, positive 3 times 2y, that gives me a positive 6y. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 All right. Yep, we're going to do more. Just want to get my taps up. We're almost at 15 now. Once we get to 15, we got that. Okay. All right. So let's get with our next one. So we have 6x minus 2 times x plus 4. Okay. Yep, so I have tutoring, or you can also get the classes. So any inquiry about tutoring or classes, I'm going to try to put it right here. Okay. Anyway, you want to go here. And basically, that's exactly what it is. That's where you can find that. Okay? So go there. If you're interested in tutoring and of courses. Okay, price of courses is $147. Catch it before it goes up by the end of this month. Okay. Okay, so some 4x plus 8s. I'm seeing 11x minus 2s, 4x minus 8. Got some 4x minus 8s. Okay, some 6x minus 2x minus 8s. Let's combine our like terms. Okay, so you got your 4x minus 8. Oops. Twist that. Okay, your answer should only have one x in it. So if you don't, combine them. If you have more than one x, combine them. If you have more than one constant, combine them. Okay? Sometimes you guys are just one step away from having your right answer. Okay? So I have a negative 2x minus 8. Okay, thanks for the follows. Appreciate it. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the taps. Okay, so I'm seeing a negative 4x minus 8. I'm seeing a positive 4x minus 8. I'm seeing 4x plus 8. Okay, negative 4x minus 8. Okay, we're seeing a little, not huge spread of answers, but very interesting. Now, taking a look. What are we distributing? So inside the parenthesis, we don't have like terms because we got an x and we have a 4. So I'm going to distribute a negative 2. Okay? This minus sign is acting as a negative to that 2. So instead of me doing it separate, I do it all together. And I'm going to distribute to everything inside of that parenthesis. So negative 2 times x gives me negative 2x. Negative 2 times a positive 4, when the signs are opposite, your answer is always going to be negative. And then the 2 and the 4, that gives me my 8. Now that 6x, that's going to come on down. Okay. Okay, so that 6x will come on down. Now, we got like terms. If we take a look from left to right, our like terms are 6x minus 2x. So, they both have x's. They're both of the same degree. So that means I can combine what's going on with their coefficients. So 6 minus 2, that gives me 4. A positive 4. I have $6. Yay, that's a positive thing. I spent 2, and now I have $4. Still, I have $4, so that's a good thing. So that's why it's positive. And then we bring down the minus e. And I know people are like, oh, we could factor it and then we could pull out the 4 and it could be x minus 2. If it says factoring, do so. If it says combining, leave it alone. Okay? That's the difference. I know, we all want to take it to the next level. You know, we want to break it all the way down. It's like, I know. But sometimes, because you're doing all that extra stuff, you're taking time away from the assessment. And then you wonder why. And I can tell you, if you guys have taken any of these assessments, okay, GED, ASVAB, any high school equivalency test, Accuplacer, even like the PSATs, which is going to be happening next month, right, in a few weeks. Also the SATs, and you always feel rushed. You basically have like a minute 5 when it comes to the SATs, but for GED, ASVAB, and I think TEAS test, not quoting me on this one, but I know for the GED and the ASVAB, you basically have like a minute 10 to a minute 15, a minute 10 or a minute 12 for each problem. There's going to be times you're going to know the answer within 10 seconds. And all that extra time that you have is going to help you with some of those word problems that kind of get you stuck. Or you're just like, okay, I need to think because your anxiety is high. You're trying to take this test. And there's going to be times that you're like, okay. So when you get your answers, don't try to think too deep. Take a look at your answer choice. When you solve, take a look at your question and take a look at the answer choices. Those are the 2 things, okay? You're not taking this test like a regular classroom exam. That's what kind of screws a lot of us up, okay? Not a problem, all right? Well, smell it if you change your name. I think a lot of people might want to come and follow you. But your thing is called Smell It. Not really appetizing. No. All right. Okay. Okay, how do you know to stop there? Okay, because we're not solving. We're not solving. There's no equal sign. So we're just getting it down to the point where we have a number with a variable and then just a constant. That's how you know when to stop. And again, double check your answer choices because remember, it's a multiple choice test. So if you see any parentheses, all right, you might have to factor. But this case, we're just combining like terms. Okay? All right. Okay, make sure we combine like terms. That means you should have one, in this case, 1x and a constant. That's how you know you should stop. So if you're giving me an answer with a couple x's in there, or maybe you're like, oh, here's the first step. Okay, congratulations, finish it. Feel like Mortal Kombat right now. Finish it. Finish it all the way through. What word? Well, if they don't say factor, okay, most of the time they're just going to say simplify. So all these examples, you'll probably see in the directive that will say simplify. Okay, they may say combine like terms, or they may just say simplify, period. That's it. Okay. All right, so we got 5 plus 2, 27x, 3 plus 27x, 3 plus 27x, 27x plus 3, 3x minus 21, 27x plus 3, Mia, love her, 3 plus 18x is factor foiling, no, they're basically opposites. Foiling is when you're multiplying, factoring is you're doing the reverse. So you have 2x plus 3, 27x plus 3, 27x plus 3. Mirror. Okay, not sure. Okay, so looking, not a problem. Thank you. So we have 3x plus 27, 27x plus 3. Okay, Kimmy, take it all the way out of that factoring because we're not factoring. Okay. Okay, put the variable first, people. Okay. All right, so we have 3x plus 24x. Okay. All right, so we got Callie. All right, so let's see. 27x plus 3 we got for Lynn. Here we go. All right, first thing, we're going to take our 3, our positive 3, and we're going to distribute that to everything inside of the parenthesis. So we have 3 times 1, that gives me 3, a positive 3 in fact. Then we have 3 times 8x, so 3 times 8 gives my 24, and we're bringing down our x. Bring down our 3x. So now let's take a look for like terms. Here they are. We have 3x and we have a positive 24x. Okay, those are like terms. So that will give me my 27x, and then I can bring down the plus 3. And this is our answer. Okay. When does it finish? When I can't combine anymore. Okay, I got 27x and I got plus 3. Can't combine those two. Okay, they're not like terms. Okay, does order matter in the answer? Majority of the time for mathematics, we usually like to have the variable in the front, unless it's complex. Okay, one of those complex solutions. Okay, could we isolate x? We're not solving. If we were solving, Andy, yes, we would have to isolate the x, but we're not solving. There's no equal signs in our original. Okay, so since we don't have any equal sign, we're not solving. We're just simplifying. Okay. All right, what about PEMDAS? We did PEMDAS. Why does everyone keep asking what about PEMDAS? I'm like, you did PEMDAS, okay? Inside the parenthesis, there's nothing that we can combine. We don't have any exponents. That's the E. Multiplying, we did the distributive property. That's the multiplying. From left to right, that's what we did. Then the adding and subtracting from left to right. All we can do is combine like terms, and that's what we did. We did PEMDAS, okay? You forgot what it means? Parentheses, exponents. Okay, order of operations. Okay, here in the States, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, you have your parentheses, your exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. But if you are of international descent, it's more like this, okay? Broadmas. So you have your brackets, okay? Have your any exponents, anything of a certain order, then your division, then multiplication, addition, subtraction. Okay? Depending on where you were from, I got you. Okay? All right, excellent. Okay? Can't wait. Yes, there was like some kind of saying, but I cannot remember what it is. What if there was an exponent outside the parentheses? Okay, then you do that exponent, because that's what happens next. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. What does PEMDAS mean again? Right here. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right. Okay. All right. Now, let's make it gnarly. You're like, no, we were such good friends, Audrey, until now. All right, let's do a couple more. And then then I'll do my little spiel. Okay, so let's make it really gnarly. So, -3. And it's weird because I haven't said the word gnarly since I was in middle school. Well, we call it grade school. I don't know what this whole separation is. But plus she's like, she's still writing. She's still writing. She's still writing. So let me unzoom. Let's try to do what's in blue. Take it step by step. Okay? Take it step by step. Do I teach multiplying, dividing radicals? Yes, I did that already. So again, if you just go, sorry, I'm going to slide it right in here. Go there, okay, right up here, and you'll see TikTok lives, okay? It's already there. When does the live end? I want to say after this problem. Because right now my cats they're okay. But they're like, woman, it's fast. It's past 5 bells. Like, I swear, they got an internal clock. 5 a.m., 5 p.m. It's really weird. It's really weird. Once I see the cat just staring at me, I'm like, oh, shoot, it must be 5 o'clock already. I don't even have to look at the clock. I look at the cat. It's crazy. Okay. Zaza says -21x minus 24. Addicted to success. Hello. Minus 25x. Dream bank -12x minus 48. Ebrix saying 21x minus 24. Mia saying -21x minus 24. Notes with Pantera. Oh. Petrina, okay, say -21x minus 24. York, or is it Yorkie? Say -21x minus 24. Lisa, yes, hello Lisa. Evil math. Oh, Chris. It's not evil. Okay, your brain is stuck. That's okay. I'll help out in a moment. Okay, thanks. It's so easy. Good. All right. So no matter how long the problem is, okay. All right. Means half of 6 and half of 24. There you go. There it is. There it is. Okay. You lost me? Where did I go? Could have sworn I was here. Am I a figment of my own imagination? Could be. Way my life's been going lately. Because I'm doing it in school right now. Awesome. Love it. Okay, so negative 12x minus 24 maybe. All right, let's take a look in a book, Reading Rainbow. All right, so we have negative 3. We're going to distribute that negative 3 to everything inside of the parenthesis. Because if I look inside the parentheses, there's nothing inside of it for me to combine. Okay, they're not like terms. Then over here, I have this 1/2. I know for a feeling, as soon as people saw the 1/2, there was some heart palpitations, a little bit of sweat, and then you're just like, oh wait, they're even. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. All right, so now let's take a gander. Negative 3 times 8x, that gives me a negative 24x. Okay, negative 3 times a negative 4, a negative times a positive, that gives me a negative, in this case, negative 12. So we're distributing here a positive 1/2. So half of 6. Just think logically. You should not even be whipping out a calculator, especially if the denominator is even and you are multiplying with an even whole number. So half of 6, that gives me a positive 3x. Half of negative 24, we have a positive times a negative, that gives me negative. And half of 24 is also 12. So if I may, I'm going to cover up the top so we can focus our attention, so we can see the like terms. So here, if I go with the x's, I have a negative 24x and a positive 3x. Okay, from left to right. So if I have a negative 24 plus 3, we can think of it this way. You owe me $24. You gave me $3. Oh, thank you. But you still owe me $21. Where's my money? Okay? Now, that's taken care of. So now we're taking a look at negative 12 minus 12. They do not cancel out. I see way too many people losing points because of that. Oh, 12, 12, boom, that's 0. No, slow your brain. The only way they can cancel out is if one is positive and one is negative. That's the only way it can cancel out. So this is almost like, oh yeah, you owe me $12. I loaned you another $12 and you sitting there talking about, oh, I don't owe you anything. That's how you get your butt whooped, okay? So you owe me $12. For some reason, I loaned you another $12. That means you owe me $24. Okay? So that's why our answer is negative 21x minus 24. These are not like terms, so I can't go any further. Okay, I can't combine them. I mean, you can physically try to combine them, that's fine, but that answer is going to be wrong. I'm just going to let you know right now. Okay? Okay? Geometry is here nor there. I do that as a filler. Yes, thank you, Mr. L. Thank you. Because we all understand money. So why not make that association, right? Howdy. All right. Good. So right now, my days are all kinds of crazy. But tomorrow, for the next deep dive, which is like a paid one, that is for the ASVAB. So we're going to do a deep dive for those that are taking the ASVAB, which is for the military. Then I have at 1 p.m., I have college algebra. So people that are involved or currently taking a college algebra class, I think you guys are on factoring or solving using the square root method. If it's something more than that, I need for you to DM me ahead of time, because I'm just going to go over a couple things that I'm seeing with the college algebra group. And then tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's all this is Eastern Standard Time, I will be going over midpoint and distance formula. So that's a free session. So my free session will be at 6, and if you want to come at 1, you can come at 1, but the 11 o'clock will be a paid one. Okay? So, speaking of paid ones, if you want to support your lovely tutor, that will be amazing. Okay? Because TikTok takes not 50%. I did the calculations, like 53.4% of our money. It's hilarious. But if you don't mind, if you want to, you can just do $1. I'm perfectly fine with that. There's no insult, no shame in my game, because it all adds up. So if you want to support a tutor, you can go to my Cash App right here. Or if you need some assistance again, okay, I'm going to unzoom a little bit, and then I'm going to do my lovely little spiels. If you go here, okay, and here, give me some time, because sometimes it takes a little bit for me to download it from TikTok, okay? But all of my lives, except for the one that I did at, I don't even know what time it was, like 4:30, I think. My earlier live and this live, give me some time to download it. It'll probably be up like around 11 o'clock, maybe earlier, depending if TikTok is behaving. But if you do need a tutor, hey, I'm here for you. If you know that, hey, I would love to get more one-to-one, or my math skills are not that great yet, and the operative word is yet, maybe a course will actually do you better. Okay, so we have the course with the GED. Like I said, it goes from, and I did I did a recording or post. If you see it in my profile, it's probably like the third or the fourth one away from the pinned ones. And it actually showed you like the list of the courses. So everything from the different types of numbers, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, fractions, decimals, and even just all kinds of integers, and then progressing with scientific notation, and then solving one-step, two-step, multi-step equations, and equation of the line, point slope, all of that, all the way up to like rational functions, and also combination and permutation, mean, median, mode, and range, doing looking at bar graphs, number lines, line plots, box plots, the whole shebang. And a little bit of geometry, which is the area, the volume. So all that's listed is 107 videos. Okay? I don't know. It's basically the whole Algebra 1 course. So if you need something, you can fast forward, you can rewind. I also give exit tickets at the end of every session, which the answer is going to be presented in the following lesson. So that is more sequential. Okay? All right. So if you're interested in tutoring, make sure you message me. Go for a DM. Okay? Once we start putting prices in our stuff, TikTok has a tendency to not like that. I don't know why. I'm just trying to play the game as best I can. So if you are interested in tutoring and you just want to get more information about it, go ahead and DM me. Okay, just go ahead and DM me, or you can hit the Service Plus button at the bottom of your screen and just send me a email. Okay, send me a message and it'll go directly to my email. All right. In addition to all of this, if you like the book that I was presenting in, I actually created this book. So for students to basically organize their thoughts, they can put their formulas in this section, they can put their steps in that section. Let me see if I can find an example. We can kind of do this for compound inequalities. a little slight formulas, but at the same time give you some work on one side, and then on the other side you also have a traditional grid. Now, in addition to the 100 pages that we have for here, this is what it looks like, nice and blank, but there's also a resource page. So resource pages, one, if you're not great with your factoring, you can't remember your factors, it's really hard for you to break down radicals, it's hard for you to do factoring in itself because you're not sure what the factors of certain numbers are. If you're trying to help you find the LCM or LCD, the least common multiple or the least common denominator, the greatest common factors, you can use these factor sheets. It goes from 1 to 200. It also gives you some other resources that can be useful to help you to remember. Here's one thing that everyone needs, that rules of integers, okay? From adding, subtracting, all the way to multiplying and dividing. Okay, you have your integers, your intervals, you have your linear, your quadratics. We already took a look at this one, but it also has the exponents. We're looking at the decimal operation, fraction operation. So everything that you kind of remember, but you may need some resources. How about the distance times speed and time? Remember this? So if you want to find distance, just cover up the D, and then you have your speed times time. If you want every time. No. If you want speed, that means it's distance divided by time. So you can use this, and after a while, you're not going to need to look at this. This is just to kind of help jar your memory. So I am currently running a sale on this. So this one is for Algebra and Algebra 1. So I am currently running a sale on all my notebooks because I do have one for Algebra 2 and Pre-Calculus. I'm waiting for that to come in. But if you're looking at this, if you're a lefty, I also have this version of the book, but for my lefties. Okay, notice how it opens. Notice how you have everything that's in the back. That will be in the back. This will be in the front. So all my lefties, you finally have a math book that you don't have to be tortured with. Maybe we'll torture you with the math, but it's not too much torture. So the only lefty notebook that I've seen out there on the public. So I am basically selling these. All of my books just for the month of September is $10.29. They're normally $22.97. So I'm just doing it for my birthday month. Okay. Excuse me. Where can you go? You could go to the A, but the A does not have. And when I say the A, the brown box with the smiley face on it. Okay, they do sell the books as well, but theirs don't have the sale price. Whereas if you come here for my books by Audrey, just here, you will actually have this sale price. Okay, so if you want, you can take a little screenshot, and I'll bring it down a lot. Okay. So shipping is usually a week. If you do it through here, shipping is usually a week. And I know we're so used to everything happening like the next second. That's how our society is. Now I remember the days when having a microwave popcorn was like, oh my God, that was so fast. Now you're like, come on, hurry up. Okay, but if you want to pay the full price of it and get it like the next day, you can go with the happy little box. Okay, but if you want to get the discounted rate, you can get the discounted rate here. Now, okay, nope. Well, we're still on book 6, Anthony. So how can it be on sale if it's still here? Keep your panties on. All right. Now, another book, if you actually like my notes, you can get copies of my notes directly. And when I say copies, I mean even color-coded copies of my notes. So this is Audrey's notes. So Audrey's notes is just basically a copy of the notes that I do here on TikTok. And if you notice at the very bottom is a QR code. If you scan that QR code, it will take you directly to the live that's associated with this topic. And you can basically follow along step by step on what exactly is happening with that live. So now this one was multiplying polynomials. So we had the distributive property, and then on the back we had that box method. Okay, so you can use it for like homeschools. I've noticed a lot of homeschool parents really like it because sometimes their kids that are apart that they're just like, I don't know what they're asking for. Okay, I've seen people with ASVAB were taking it just to use it to kind of help a little bit. You can use it for mediation inside the classroom. It's going to be completely up to you. Okay. Now, which books do I think is the best? Because every book is not sequential. It's just like what I do here on the lives. Whatever pops up, that's what I do, and I make copies of it. So some people like book 3, book 4, or book 5. Okay, and sometimes they repeat, but not repeat in the same book. So like if I do multiplying and dividing polynomials, you'll see it one time here in book 3, but there's a possibility you'll see it again in book 4. Okay, so book 3 has a nice wider variety, especially a little more advanced stuff. So you can try that. Because I never teach it the exact same way every time. So like if you want this one, which is adding and subtracting radicals. So if you have your QR code, if you take a picture of it, it'll take you right to my YT channel, and it'll take you right to that live. Okay. All right. Codner? Who's Codner? Do you mean Codner? Codner. It's my last name. I was like, who's Codner? Thank you for the buzz. Thank you. Okay. So for me, I always teach multiple ways. I never just say, okay, just do this way and that's it. That's why my lives usually take so long. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's why sometimes my lives take a little too long. Okay, so I think I covered everything. So if you want to support, that will be awesome. I know next Friday I am going to be going live, and it's to help celebrate my B-Day. If you want to get this, I'm going to try to fit everything on here. So I'm going to sort of kind of celebrate my B-Day with you. I would like to go out like a human being and possibly get something really good for me to eat, and maybe take a cupcake and put a candle in there. You know, when you get older, it just doesn't matter, you know? Yep. Yeah, couldn't you tell? Can you tell I'm a Libra? Okay. All right, no problem, Louise. Let's go. Okay, if you want tutoring, if you're going to take it soon, and if you want tutoring, and you're like, okay, I've been studying and I just need to tweak, that's the perfect time to get tutoring. But if you're just starting from the very beginning, say, yeah, I want my GED, but I really haven't done anything, you're going to need to purchase the course. Because I feel like the course will give you that freedom to pause, to rewind, to fast forward. And let's say that I'm doing a practice problem. You can pause it, try to do the practice problem yourself, and then push play, and then you can check your answers to see how you did. That's how you learn math, guys. Like, you don't learn just by flipping pages in a book. That's not how you learn math. You have to learn by doing practice. So, and also with the courses, you get practice problems, and you also get small quizzes in there. So to help you to make sure that you're doing okay. And if you get stuck, you get a discounted rate of like a brief tutoring session just to kind of tweak your thinking. Okay? Because sometimes you just be like, oh yeah, I think I get this. And all of a sudden you're like, yeah. Okay. Am I going to take a shot? What do you mean? Oh, I don't know. I haven't drank since I got divorced. Most people will be the other way around. I stopped drinking when I got divorced. Okay. Okay, so you need a refresher. I think for the refresher, I'm going to be truthful, not just be like, oh yeah, let me give you this. But I'm telling you, get this foundation to algebra course. Okay, because now here's my question, Miss D or D. Are you currently working in the nursing industry, in the medical industry, I should say? Not to be all in your business, but there's a reason why I'm saying that. No, I only teach the math, Louise. I only teach the math. Yay, Vicky. Power to the people. Yes, okay. So this is why I want to say the course, and especially listen to all people. Okay. I do tutoring for the ACT. I can kind of help with that one. Hold on. All right, so TikTok wants to ding me. Oh, you're not eligible or anything. Well, then pay me. I hope you're listening. Pay me. Pay us educators. It takes a long time for us to do all this prep and stuff, so pay us. Eventually, I'm going to have to go somewhere. Okay, so ACT math, I do have some tutoring, so I just do a little bit of tweaking of things. Now, for you, D, it will be best if you did the foundation. The reason why, because your schedule is going to be all over the place. And that's the one thing I'm learning with like people saying, yeah, I really want tutoring. But your schedule, like 1 minute, you're perfectly fine. Yes, let's meet on Monday. And all of a sudden, oh, they put me on the schedule, Audrey, I'm going to have to cancel. So for me, emotionally, I'm just like, oh, okay. But for you, you're not going to be able to get, and it pushes you back. So now you can just go whenever you want to sit down and to do all the work. So that's why I'm always saying that will be good. Where to start, where you have to start in algebra, knowing your different types of numbers and knowing your multiplication. You're welcome. Nope, I just do the math. A lot of it is fun. There is a couple people on here that does it. There's an ASVAB drill. I want to say ASVABdrill.com. He does here. Grammarly, I think it's called Grammarly Guy, is another person. He also is on YT, but he's also here, but he's more popular on YT. He does a lot of the algebra, very similar to mine, but for me, I'm very detailed. And plus, I like to show you the tips and tricks of how to get your answer quickly. So that's the one thing that I do differently. Is class starting now? Nope. Oh, this one? No, we're done. Yeah, we're done. We're wrapping up, Michael. Okay, you're so welcome. Yeah, if anything, just type in the search ASVAB here on TikTok. I think his name is ASVAB Drill. And he's always on because he has his own program, and it goes through not just the math, it also, and sometimes he's on like late at night a couple times too, because everyone works, so it doesn't make any sense to go on in the afternoon when you guys are working. Okay. And who else? And if not me, like, do you have anything for this new way of doing math? This new way of doing math is garbage. Because I don't know why everyone keeps saying it's a new way of doing math. 2 plus 2, 2 times 2, 2 squared, it still gives you 4. Okay? we can sit here, count sticks, how many dots, throwing on the blocks of 10. Dude, it's the same stuff. Okay, it's the same stuff. We're just trying to do too much. You're fifth grader? Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. Because that's why it's like the fourth and fifth grade. Now, here's my thing. There is a person on here. Her name is Bridget Hauser. Because I got her on TikTok as well. Let me see. It is... What is her thing? I wish I could always say. Read, math. I think it's read, math, grow. I'll just put it in the chat. Read, math, grow. Okay. So I don't know why it's doing it 60 million times. But if you go to read, math, grow, she does a lot of elementary school work. If not, we have my other friend, Nancy, who is the elementary tutor. I feel like there's something else with her name. I have to double check. Okay, math is your weakest subject. Have to retake the ACT to gain entrance. Okay. Yeah, not a problem. Okay. All right. So TikTok is doing something to me. So yes, if you need my assistance, please do not hesitate. Go ahead and message me. I'm going to end the live right now because TikTok is doing something that's making me cray cray. It's just life. So give me a moment to upload this so you can get everything situated. And if you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to message. If it's something that's not my grade level, like say for a fifth grader, fourth or fifth grader, I definitely have friends that's on this app that can help you. And, you know, I really want you to be able to show the world your greatness. And I don't want math to be the thing that holds you back. It's time to just break that barrier. And I'm more than willing to help you break it down so you can be able to advance and to grow. Okay? All right. So I wish I can see more. Okay, how long is the ASVAB tutor package? It's all as long as you want it to be. If you want to do like 3 chapters or 3 units, go ahead, knock yourself out. If you just want to do 1 unit, that's going to be up to you. So, I mean, it depends on how quickly you can get through 107 chapters or units or videos. Sorry, it's not units. So it's about like 16 units. I gotta look on here. Okay. Oh, Eureka Math was terrible. Oh. Sorry, I finally had to look at some of my thing. Information about that was tutoring package. Yep. So if anything, message me if anybody needs anything about ASVAB. Okay, all that stuff. Go ahead and do that. In the same link, yes. The notebooks and the book is in the same link. Yes, it is. Which is this one. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, are you doing multi-step equations next? I am not, but again, I'll say it till the cows come home. Moo-hoo. All right, go here. Go here. You're going to see a playlist that says TikTok Lives. Click on it, and then there's going to be a search bar. Type in multi-step equations, and you'll actually see the live that I did. Okay? Everything is there. Okay, not a problem. All right, everyone, continue to be awesome. Please be safe. don't get arrested because I do not have bail money. All right? I'll talk with you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a great night.